Alright, so I'm gonna calmly do this because I'm not gonna lose it. Okay, there's no point in doing that. First of all, I am not a Christian. I have no idea where the fuck you get off and say I'm fucking Christian. My personal beliefs in the Christian God are like not a fucking Christian, okay? First of all, I do not agree with the doctrine of Christianity whatsoever. That's the first thing you need to learn. Second thing you need to learn is there is a fine line between what you are and what I am. And you think you know it all. Well, guess what? You don't. I'm a druid by heritage, honestly. I believe in Alan. Alan does not have to have, is not a god. Alan is a philosophy. It is not a fucking, whatever you want to concept it. I've believed in balance and non-religiously for a while. Belief in Jesus Christ does not automatically make you a Christian either. You start actually talking to Christians, you should know this. You actually could talk to a Christian that actually knows a thing or two about Christianity. You wouldn't know this. Just because I believe in Jesus Christ doesn't mean I'm a Christian. Second, which is the actually third in this bill. Just because I have a Bible, okay, doesn't mean I use it as a Christian does. Okay, that is nonsense. Okay, it's not like you are going around. And because I've practiced flock magic, that doesn't mean anything either. Okay, you can practice flock magic and be a druid. Unfortunately, you can believe in Awen and practice a magic. You know what I'm saying? And just because your term of paganism doesn't match mine, I don't know. Allow me to explain. What I expect of you is nothing more than you to keep your fucking mouth shut and closed, because I have reported you like several different times to YouTube. Alright? I'm not going to give you any more chances. I'm just going to basically flag every video you copy of mine. All of them. And then I'm going to start making phone calls when I find the phone call, the YouTube phone number. I'm sure they have one. You know, I blocked you. You can't comment, on any of this. I'm so glad you can't, because some of your students need help. They follow you, an atheist. That's just ridiculous. First of all, pagan, you don't have to necessarily be a polytheist to be a pagan. And you don't necessarily need to be a polytheist to be a nature worshiper. Which, I'm sorry if you can't acknowledge that. And just because somebody else's goddess and God are different from their God, alright? Doesn't mean that the person practicing a form of Gnosticism, a tyrannic Gnosticism, you can pick on them. Because you shouldn't be able to. And just because I enjoy my philosophy, which is not a religion, doesn't mean that you have to be a dickface about it. So, just to let you know, Druidry does not have to be a freaking polytheism. I like a lot of Celtic gods, a lot of them, but I also like some other gods that I'm not going to mention, because to me there might be Welsh, but I don't even know if I'm Welsh or not. I know I got Gaelic in me, and I know that I like Gaelic gods, but I'm not going to sit there and say I'm this or that or fall under this fucking stereotype anymore. Because I'm not Christian. I don't agree with the Christian doctrine. I don't agree with the way they worship their God. And it all comes down to the fact that the culture of the people did not worship God that way. They didn't. They had altar, a fire, and sacrifice. And that fire in that inner chamber, that fire is the womb of our goddess, Shikaya, but she goes by many different names. And if you probably done your research on Hestia, you would have pretty figured out the combination and cracked the code that the Virgin Mary is actually more like Hestia than she is like Isis or anything else. But of course you haven't cracked the code, so I'm just like, you know what? If you do not like the Hebrew practice, pagan practice either, I'm sorry, yeah, there are actually still Hebrews who are not into Judaism. There are Jews practicing the old Jewish paganism still. And I don't understand why you cannot accept that. Really cannot understand why you cannot accept that there are some of us that agree, that this does exist, but these were not actual humans. You have to understand the way of the sacrifice, the way it is and who the Hebrew goddess was. And yes, there was a Hebrew goddess, and yes, there was, that doesn't make me Christian at all. It makes me totally in disagreement with it. And the closest relation to this type of practice is actually in Druidry, in my culture, not Norse mythology. It's the closest relation to it is in Druidry. It's kind of funny, because we practice hearth and hedge and all that, but we honor our ancestors, we honor our home, and we honor the hearth within our home. We honor the spiritual hearth, we honor the internal and elemental flame that burns in our home 24/7. I just don't get where you can get off on it can't be Christian. It's a form of Middle Eastern paganism. And I'm sorry if you hate that. And me calling myself a druid and practicing the hearth practices, that's up to me, not up to somebody else. And I believe in balance. I believe in a spiritual balance. I believe in flow. That's what I believe in. So, kiss my ass, because that's what I'm going to practice. Because that makes no sense to me why I should care what you think. Alright? I no longer care what you think. But I am not Christian because of the way I believe in the Hebrew God. That does not make me Christian. Okay? Because of the way I believe in the Hebrew God, that automatically does not make me Christian. Okay? And I am not Messianic Christian, because I do not follow the Hebrew calendar. I have similar practices to the Middle Eastern Hebrew paganism, Shika and Yahweh. But you got to understand how that was done. And because that temple practice no longer exists, the closest thing to it is hedge, hearth, and and Mary was a householder, literally. So it was Hestia in a way. But a virgin mother is a virgin mother. Who cares? All right, bye.